Welcome to Weaving the Magic. My name is Kelly, and this 3-card spread today was inspired by the badass archetypes of the feminine that are showing up to make sure that the feminine archetype in all of its multitudes is present in the sky on the day that Saturn goes into Aries, which is the day that I'm recording this. So I am all fired up about this spread. I used 3 of my favorite feminine archetype energy based decks. First, the Wild and Sacred Feminine deck itself. Secondly, the Black Moon Lilith Cosmic Alchemy Oracle. And thirdly, the Sacred Rebels Oracle. So diving into this spread, I'm looking at the Lover card, Intimacy, and it reminds me of this video I watched yesterday of this German mystic woman, Mechthild, from the 1200s, who wrote her incredible first-hand experiences with the divine. And she did it in such a way that she also opposed the authority of the church at the time, which my rebel heart loves so much, because she wrote her findings in Low German instead of in Latin. She wrote them in a way where all people could access the divinity that she was feeling and experiencing, because the love that came through that showed her that this is not exclusive. This love, this intimacy, God's love, if you will, the divine love, that's not exclusive to some people. But at the time, the church didn't like that. But this spread is not about that. It's about the intimacy that she felt, and the way she specifically referenced it as flowing light. She felt the divine as flowing light. And in this spread today, we have this flowing golden light orb that's intimately holding this woman, the lover. The divine is the lover. And if that's too romantic for you yet, read some Rumi poetry. And it's not just about reading the poetry, it's about sitting in the experience and allowing yourself to feel it. This lover card also reminds me of let's call it a ritual, a visualization I used to give myself. I didn't grow up feeling a mother's unconditional love, and at some point in my life I learned that I have to understand what that feels like. I need to be able to give that to myself if I ever want to be that to give to my children, and I do. So I came up with this visualization of a willow tree with long willow arms that would scoop me up and hold me when I put myself to her. When I gave myself to the tree, it would pick me up and hold me. This is how I learned childlike surrender. This is how I learned mother's love. Not all of us feel these things just like the divinity in the same way, but the central feeling of being cared for, of being witnessed, and of being loved remains the same. So whatever method, whatever image you've got to conjure, memory you've got to recall, to tap into that feeling, that's the feeling that this card is presenting. Lover, intimacy. Allow yourself to be loved. My friend Dagmar and I have this into we see when we talk about intimacy. Into me I see. Into we. There's this shared loving experience suggested with this card. And on this day that I'm recording this message, Friday the 13th, when Saturn moves into Aries, there's this witchcraft element of ritualizing this self-love in the way of committing to yourself, perhaps. Look at the other cards and how centralized everything is. This spread suggests putting yourself at the center of this divine experience because, spoiler alert, you are. I am at the center of mine, and you are at the center of yours, and we are all weaving this very interconnected web where all things ripple effect into the others. So the more deeply and intimately you love yourself at the center of your world, the more powerfully those ripple effects come and touch me. Thank you. The more deeply that I love myself, the more powerfully my ripple effects of love could actually change the world. Do you feel how powerful that is? This isn't just me talking. This is my channel coming through, pushing my ego out of the way, the ego that says I have to be that special, I have to do something to earn that title, to earn that feeling. No, you don't. You don't have to earn anything, which is why Black Moon Lilith is here. Black Moon Lilith is here because the shame, the repression, the parts of ourselves that we hold back, because in this human earthen world, we learned that in order to get love, we have to be a certain way, do a certain thing, show up in some context that's of value to others. And this spread is saying, fuck that. You don't have to be valuable to anyone. You just have to want to connect to the lover that is animating you already. And the nodes of the moon on this card are talking about the north node in Pisces and the south node in Virgo, where they currently are. The south node being where we come from, what we've gotten good at, what we've told ourselves, this is the way we do it. And Virgo is about analyzing. It's about figuring out the problem so you can have a solution. It's about knowing all the right facts so you can make the right choices and do the right thing. There's so much judgment by nature in Virgo because it's an analyst. It's figuring, it's solving problems. And when you're doing math or alchemy or chemistry, those things are great. But when you are excavating the soul from places that it's been buried, that's only great if it doesn't judge what it excavates. That's why we lean into the North Node in Pisces, where Pisces is the dissolution. It is the supreme darkness where everything is, until you turn on the light and now you can discern one thing from another. But in total darkness, it's all one. And that doesn't mean to get rid of your wrong or right or all sense of discernment, but it does mean to be mindful of your judgments and to always be coming back to the truth that we're all interconnected, that all things exist, and that all things truthfully do emanate from one divine spark, however distorted they may now have become. And that distortion, number 5, the card is a 32, 3 being the feminine, 2 being balance, but when you add them together, it's anything but balance. It's a 5. 5 is the change maker. It's the chaos principle. And so this card in this spread is saying, shake up your walked path. Whatever path you've been walking that doesn't leave you any room to take steps inner towards the self, toward the Piscean desire to just free float in your life, instead of always having to plan and be on the lookout for what thing you have to safeguard yourself against. Recently, I was given this amazing thought. Am I always scanning for threats, or am I scanning for opportunities? Boom. That is this Nodes of the Moon card. Are you done scanning for threats? Do you want to begin scanning for opportunities to embrace your legacy of light? Card number 7 from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. Embrace your legacy of light, because we have this column of light in the center of us that could serve as our integrity, that could serve as our desire, as our guide, as our passion, as our way. This is our path, the legacy of light. Do you see how the 2 above figures have their eyes closed and only the child has their eyes open? Multiple things come up. We have this false sense of spiritual ritual that sometimes we feel obligated to oblige, like this dogmatic religious way of looking at embracing the divine, saying a prayer even that word. It has all this bastardized connotation to it that has all this dogma that's attached from what other people have been telling other people that we should be doing for forever. And this legacy of light is talking about opening your eyes to what's individual to you. You have a path that's different from everyone else's, but it's not so different from the ancestors that came before you, or the relations that are yet to come. 7 generations forward and back. That's who you touch when you embrace your legacy of light. When you tune into the center of you. Who am I? What is my purpose for being here? This isn't something to think about. This isn't something to figure out or analyze or map. This is an opportunity to open to the universe today, to open to the cosmos, to the alignment of Saturn following Neptune into Aries, Saturn, the structure, following Neptune, the dream, into Aries, leadership. This is about leading your life with all of you intact. And I wanted the feminine archetypes to be present in the cards today to reinforce the truth that they're present all of the time, and that much of the old world that is ending has either neglected or rejected or oppressed the feminine principles in all of the structures of life. And we as individuals don't necessarily have absolute power to directly change those exact things. But also, however, at the same time, we do. Because it starts with us. It begins with us. All of our power is based on how we treat ourselves and how we guide our own lives. Today is a day to recognize how powerful you are and to mark a chapter closing and a new one beginning, if you so have it, if you so connect, if you decide to become intimate with the energetics of the world that are for you, not against you. This Lover card, the intimacy in this spread with the nodes of the moon advising you to please release, clear, and align so that you can attune to your legacy of light, is reminding you that you are not alone. This isn't some individual challenge that you have to shoulder or bear the burden of. You are divinely supported, and you are also supported by a web of human beings that you've not yet met. But I personally believe, so let it be enough if you don't see it yet, that today marks the change between hyper-individualization and a sense of community, of having I don't want to bastardize witchcraft, but I like to use the word coven, a sense of those with a shared practice of magic, of knowing that each of us are magic, and that means something beyond some just mystical thing to say. My name is Kelly, and I am weaving the magic. And regardless of what your name is, you are too. Do you want to be conscious about it or not? That's all I've got to share about these archetypes, about these cards in this spread today. I did, if you haven't seen it yet, put out a little video about the astrology of this day, of Saturn moving into Aries, of Neptune already being there, what that means for the collective, what that means for us personally and individually. So if you're interested, I've got a link in the description box so you can check that out. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your subscriptions. I love your comments, your sharing with me, and your sharing with others if you think that someone else would appreciate this message. Thank you so much again. Until next time, I love you. Take care.